The other day, I saw this wedding ring design, and today I'm going to show you guys how to carve it. Okay, so the design, it looks pretty fancy. This is a great project for beginners. I know you guys can do it, but first of all, we need to start off with some wax. So I've got some tube wax here.
The other things you'll need: jeweler's saw, ring stick, wax file, dividers, toothbrush, calipers, a wax pen, micromotor, scriber, a couple of burrs, sharp file, and sandpaper.
So what I like about this project is it's got a few different elements going on. We've got the smooth edges on the outside, and then we've got this texturing in the inside, and then we've got the line running around the center. We're not going to put the bevel on it after it's cast in silver, then we'll stick the bevel on it. You're just going to get a more crisper line on the bevel, and then hopefully we'll be able to sandblast it as well.
My ring is going to be 10 millimeters wide, so I'll set the dividers to 10 mil and carefully scribe a line all the way around the wax. Take your time, this becomes a roadmap for the whole ring. Use a jeweler's saw to cut. A wax blade makes this much easier.
So I used my saw frame, I had a wax blade in there. I've just cut on the outside of the line I scribed with the dividers, and now I'm just going to file it nice and square. But on the other side, I did make sure that this here was all nice and smooth before I marked it.
Before I started, I made sure one side of the wax was perfectly square. That gives me a clean reference edge. Now I'll file the opposite side, just staying shy of the scribed line, using it as a guide. Once that's done, I'll give the surface a quick sand using the 180 grit sandpaper.
Now I've sanded it, you do want to measure the thickness, so you want to measure all the way around and make sure that it's the same thickness all the way around. So I've checked here, here, so yeah, just check all the way around. You can be out by like a fraction of a mil, it's probably not going to matter too much, but you want to get it reasonably accurate. So now I want to open up the hole to fit my finger size. My finger size is about a size S, so you can make yours any size you like. So it could be small finger size, but mine, I'm going to make it a size S.
Next, we need to open the hole to about 20 millimeters. Using the calipers to mark the diameter, then scribe a line with the dividers. And do both sides. Using a large burr, I'll start removing the wax from the inside. Don't rush this, and don't go past your line. Once the bulk is removed, I'll switch to a file and clean up using the scribed line as my guide.
It almost fits, just going to file a little bit more out and then it will be the perfect size.
Just needs a little more and it will fit perfectly.
So what I want to do is round up the hole a little bit, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide it on the ring stick here and give it a few twists, flip it over, do the other side. Okay, so the hole's done. It looks pretty even. It's not perfect, but we'll sort that out once it's cast. So what we're going to do next is take some thickness out. This is at about 5.3 millimeters thick. So we probably want to take it down to around 2.5 to 3 mil thick, depending on how thick you want your band to be.
Now I'll leave a small reference mark on the wax. Then using my dividers, I'll scribe a line around both sides of the ring. This is just a guide so you can keep everything even. Remove the wax with the burr, then refine the shape with a file. After that, use a split pin with sandpaper to smooth everything out.
So my one, it's a little bit heavier than 3 mil, it's about 3.4 mil thick, but I'm pretty happy with that. I like my rings a little bit thicker. What I'm going to do next is I've opened the dividers up to around about 2 mil in thickness, and I'm going to scribe a line down the band. I'm going to do it very light to start with. Basically make sure that I'm happy with the way it looks, like I've got enough thickness. Then I want to make sure the line is nice and even before I go deeper.
Be careful marking your line. The trick is take your time. We want that line to be as straight as possible. Every time you go around the ring, gradually make that line deeper and deeper.
Now I'm going to use this sharp scriber and I'm going to make the line a lot deeper. But be really careful as you don't want to slip.
Now carefully follow the line going around the ring, gradually making the line deeper with each pass. So take your time to get it right.
I've gone over it quite a few times, getting it deeper and deeper. If you slip, don't worry, I'll show you how to fix that with probably just using a wax pen and fixing it up. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my burr and I'm going to create this texture in the center.
Use a 3mm burr and start scooping out wax to create an organic hammer style pattern. Don't overthink it, the randomness is what we're after. With a sharp file, I'll remove some wax from the outside edges on both sides. The goal is to keep the polished edges higher and the textured center lower. Now it's just a matter of refining the pattern, making it a little deeper, cleaner, and more intentional. This is where the ring really comes to life.
If we do slip with the scriber, it's an easy fix. What we're going to do is use the wax pen and we're going to add a little wax.
Give it a quick sand and then rescribe the line. Back to finishing off the wedder, all we're going to do is sprue it up and get it ready to cast.
Cast the wedder today and it looks pretty good. As you can see, I've sprued it on the side here. That meant that there was no sprue on the pattern, so the pattern is all nice and perfect. I did notice a couple of little bits filled in the groove here, so I'm going to run the saw through that and that'll clean up those little bits. But other than that, it's pretty good. So let's start cleaning it up.
I'll start by cutting the sprues slightly shorter, that way there's less to file up later. Now file the sides and the inside, then emery the inside using 180 grit sandpaper. Next, we'll round it off. Be careful, you don't want to bend or damage the edges of the ring. Once it's round, I'll file and burnish the surface to tighten up the metal. Then I'll go over it with 180 grit sandpaper to smooth out the surface. Now I'm going to use my dividers to scribe a line around both sides of the ring. This line is my guide. I'll be careful to fold down to that line to ensure the ring stays at an even height all the way around. Then emery it smooth. Now it's the right height, I'll burnish, file and emery. Now it's time to clean up these grooves using a fine saw blade. Then using a sharp brownie to smooth out and refine the groove. Then a quick emery to clean the surface. Now for the bevel. I'll mark a line roughly halfway from the edge. Then I'll mark the side of the ring. File carefully on an angle and do not go past the line. The key is control. Once the bevel's shaped, then emery to move any file marks. Next we'll put the stamp inside. Now we'll add a comfort fit on the inside, which makes it a lot nicer to wear. I'll finish with 1200 grit sandpaper to get everything ready for polishing. Using a felt wheel for the sides, then a mop for the top, we'll remove all those file marks and make it shine. I did forget to film sandblasting the ring, but to get the effect I wanted, I taped the edges, then blasted the center of the ring.
Check it out, I've done the sandblasting, it looks pretty cool. All I've got to do now is just polish the inside and then I'll repolish the outside and it's done.
I'll use a small polishing wheel on the inside to get that mirror finish. Now for the final polish. I'll tape off the sandblasted texture to protect it when polishing. Polish the edges, then peel off the tape and do the same on the other side. Then it's in the ultrasonic cleaner to remove all the polishing compound.
So, what do you guys think of this wedder? I think it's pretty cool and I reckon it's a pretty cool project for beginners. So I hope you guys give it a go, get some tools, get some wax and start carving. The next thing I'm thinking of doing is patinaing the inside and seeing how that looks.
A few moments later.
Okay, so check it out. I raced away and I put the patina on. So the inside's got the patina on it, polish the outside edge. So leave a comment below if you like the patina effect or you like the sandblasted effect. So leave a comment. I'm not sure which one I like best, but I reckon they both look pretty cool. Just remember, like and share this video. And if you want another cool project to do, I've got one right up here.